It is an ordinary night for Subaru Natsuki. A quiet, completely unremarkable night. A young man who went out to buy snacks from a convenience store, minding his business, doing absolutely nothing wrong. He steps outside into the cool evening air, snacks in hand, ready to head home. And then he gets teleported to a fantasy world. No warning. No explanation. No refund on his snacks. Now in your average ice skate, this is actually a great thing. The main character arrives in another world, discovers a legendary cheat ability, joins a party of cute girls, and spends the rest of the series being unreasonably overpowered while everyone around him gasps in amazement. Simple formula. Comfortable. Reliable. Ray Zero took that formula, looked at it carefully, set it on fire, and handed the ashes to Subaru. This is the story of Subaru Natsuki, a boy who got transported to another world, immediately got stabbed in an alley, and then just kept dying. Over and over again. For 25 episodes. Welcome to Ray Zero, buckle up, because this show has absolutely zero chill. Before we get into the chaos, let's talk about Subaru himself. He is 18 years old, a self-described shut-in, and by most measures a pretty and remarkable person. No exceptional grades, no special skills, no real plan for his future. The kind of person you would describe to someone, and they would say, okay. That is entirely the point. What makes Subaru genuinely fascinating is not what he starts with, it is what the show puts him through. Ray Zero is essentially asking one question. If you took a completely ordinary person, stripped away every isekai shortcut, and threw him into genuine repeated horror, would he eventually become someone worth believing in? The answer is yes. But it will cost him absolutely everything to get there. Subaru arrives in the kingdom of Lugunica and immediately decides to play the role of the destined hero. He is pumped. He is ready. He is looking for his adventure. His adventure finds him in the form of a group of thugs who rob him in an alleyway. Great start. He is saved by Amelia, a silver-haired half-elf with magic abilities and frankly an unfair level of grace about her. Subaru, who has known this woman for approximately 4 minutes, is already completely in love. This man commits fast. Amelia is one of the candidates competing to become the next queen of Lugunica. Each candidate carries a magical insignia that proves their right to the throne, and someone has stolen hers. Without it, her entire campaign collapses. Subaru, wanting to repay her and very obviously wanting to impress her, volunteers to help find it. They track the insignia to Felt, a young street thief trying to sell it to a black market fence called Old Man Rom. Simple retrieval mission, right? Wrong. An assassin named Elsa Granherd shows up. Elsa has two defining traits. She is devastatingly lethal, and she is having the absolute time of her life doing it. She tears through the room before Subaru can even process what is happening. He has no weapon, no skill, no plan. He dies. Then he wakes up, back on the market street. Amelia standing in front of him. Same moment, replayed from the beginning. This is return by death. Every time Subaru dies, the world resets to a fixed checkpoint. Nobody else remembers anything. Only Subaru carries every memory forward. Every death. Every moment of pain. Every person he failed to save. Most isekai protagonists get summoned with legendary powers. Subaru got dying. Repeatedly. With full memory retention and zero emotional support. That is not a power, that is a punishment with extra steps. After dying twice more and learning from each failure, a a legendary knight named Reinhard Van Estrie finally shows up. Reinhard is so overpowered it borders on comical. This man has a divine protection for practically everything, and he handles Elsa in a flash. Crisis resolved. Amelia, grateful for Subaru's help, arranges for his care at the mansion of her supporter, a powerful and eccentric noble named Roswell Mothers. Roswell's mansion is where Ray, Zero really begins. And it is where we meet the characters most people remember the entire show for. Rem and Ram are twin demon maids. Older sister Ram has pink hair and a personality that operates at a permanent baseline of mild disdain. Younger sister Rem has blue hair, a softer manner, and a quiet intensity you would be very foolish to underestimate. And no, I am not telling you which one is better. That debate has ended friendships. I am staying completely out of it. There is also Beatrice, a small, drill-haired spirit librarian who lives in a room that magically relocates itself around the mansion. She is rude, blunt, wants nothing to do with anyone, and is somehow completely lovable. And then there is Roswell, theatrical, eccentric, perpetually face-painted, the kind of noble who makes you genuinely unsure whether he is being dramatic on purpose or if that is simply how he exists. Subaru settles in, earns his keep, and slowly builds a connection with everyone in the household. Things feel almost comfortable. Then he wakes up dead. He and Amelia are killed in the night. He resets it and tries again. This time Ren kills him herself after detecting the scent of the Witch of Envy on him. Ren does not take chances with something like that. Honestly, fair enough. Reset again. Each death leaves Subaru a little more desperate, a little more erratic. He cannot explain what he knows without activating his curse, so he carries everything completely alone, watching people die over and over while being unable to simply tell them why. Eventually, he pieces it together. Cursed creatures called Mabests are hiding in the nearby forest, spreading a deadly curse through the mansion. He and Amelia go to deal with them. At one point, Subaru throws himself between Rem and an attacking creature and takes serious damage to protect her. Rem, who had killed him in a previous loop out of suspicion, watches this happen and something shifts permanently in her. She stops seeing him as a threat and starts seeing him as something else entirely. We will come back to that. They break the curse, save the mansion, and survive. But the show is absolutely not finished with Subaru yet. With the mansion safe, Amelia travels to the royal capital for the selection ceremony, where candidates present themselves to the council to make their case for the throne. Subaru insists on coming along. Here's the thing about Subaru. He has a habit of believing his actions will land with the impact of an anime protagonist's climactic speech. He walks into the royal selection, surrounded by nobles and powerful figures, and decides to speak on Amelia's behalf uninvited, unannounced, and with complete confidence that this will go brilliantly. It does not go brilliantly. He is escorted out. Amelia is visibly embarrassed. The other candidates, Krish, Priscilla, Anastasia, and Felt, are entirely unimpressed. The whole scene is painful, and the show means for it to be. He then challenges Amelia's signed knight Julius to a duel. Julius is an elite swordsman, elegant and precise, and he absolutely dismantles Subaru in front of everyone without appearing remotely troubled. It is not a close fight. It is a demonstration. Subaru returns to the mansion with his ego in pieces. The show built that wall specifically for him to walk into. Back at the mansion, the loops begin again. Except this time they are far worse. Subaru wakes up with his throat cut, then dies from something else before he can react. then again. Each reset brings a different death, and each death is leaving deeper marks. He is not sleeping properly. He is seeing patterns that may or may not be real. He is, to put it plainly, coming apart. He figures out that the witches' cult is moving, a fanatical group devoted to the Witch of Envy, and that their Archbishop, Petalgus Romain Conti, is heading directly for Amelia. Subaru rushes back to the capital to warn the other candidates. Nobody listens. No proof. No status. No credibility. Every door closes. Amelia finds him wandering the streets alone. And Subaru stops performing. He drops to his knees. The confidence, the bravado, the pretense, all of it goes. He tells her the truth. That he has been fighting something invisible for so long he can barely stand. That he is terrified. That he loves her, not with a grand gesture, just desperately and honestly, kneeling in the street, asking for help. It is genuinely uncomfortable to watch. And it hits harder than almost anything else in the series precisely because it is not cool or composed. It is just a person, completely out of options, being completely real. Rem finds Subaru sitting alone after everything has fallen apart. He looks like a man genuinely considering giving up. She tells him she has been watching him. That she notices every time he falls and every time he chooses to get back up anyway. That the weight he is carrying is visible to her, even when he tries to hide it. She does not call him powerful, she just tells him she sees him, and that she wants to be his strength. Then she offers something unexpected, run away with her. Leave all of it behind. Start somewhere new and safe, just the two of them. For a moment, Subaru actually considers it. He does not take it. He cannot abandon Amelia or the people at the mansion. But he stands up, and Rem stands with him. The whole internet cried at this scene. Do not pretend otherwise. It made Rem one of the most beloved characters in anime history. Nearly a decade later, people are still arguing Team Rem versus Team Amelia with full sincerity. That is what genuinely good writing does to people. With a plan forming, Subaru approaches Krish, the most pragmatic of the royal candidates, and offers something she has wanted for years, the location of the White Whale. The White Whale is a legendary monster that has haunted Lugunica for decades. It travels through fog and carries a horrifying ability. It erases people from existence so completely that everyone who knew them simply forgets they ever existed. It killed Wilhelm van Estree's wife years ago, and Wilhelm has been carrying that grief like a wound that never closed. Subaru trades the information for military support. They hunt it together. The battle is spectacular, chaotic, and dangerous, and anchored by an old man finally settling a debt that has defined him for too long. When the whale falls, the moment lands with real weight. But there is no time to breathe. The witch's cult is already on the move. Petalgus Romain Conti is one of those villains you simply do not forget. Archbishop of Sloth, devoted fanatic of the Witch of Envy, and a man who seems to have had every dial in his brain cranked to maximum before the knob was snapped clean off. He speaks to invisible fingers. He screams mid-sentence. He shakes. He is theatrical to the point of deeply unsettling. Not scary because he is cold and calculated, scary because there is no predicting what he does next. Subaru faces him across multiple loops, dying, resetting, adjusting, dying again. Each loop takes something out of him. By the time the final plan comes together, he is running on pure stubborn refusal to give up. The plan succeeds through Crush's forces, precise timing, And in a moment that is both completely unhinged and completely earned, a Subaru using a cargo dragon carriage as a battering weapon. Petalga's attempts to possess Subaru's body as a last resort, but Subaru's connection to the Witch of Envy makes possession impossible. The Archbishop falls. The witch's cult collapses. Amelia, evacuated safely with the village residents, is unharmed. Subaru walks through the aftermath and finds her. She smiles, warm, genuine, full of relief. After every death, every reset, every loop, that smile is everything. And that is Ray, Zero Season 1. 25 episodes of a show that asked a simple but brutal question. What happens to a completely ordinary person when you take away every single shortcut? No cheat power. No plot armor. No easy wins. Just a boy who died over and over, remembered all of it, and kept getting back up anyway. That is the whole show. And somehow, that is more than enough. Season 4 is built on everything you just watched. The politics, the relationships, the secrets that Season 1 only started to hint at. You are ready. If you want Season 2 and Season 3 recaps before diving in, subscribe right now. Those are dropping very soon. And the only question that actually matters, Team Amelia or Team Ram? Drop it in the comments. There is only one wrong answer here. I think we both already know what it is. Bye for now, let me come and be going.